Hello Internet, it's me Josh, the Agent Gamer. So, on my channel I've reviewed quite a few Ninja Gaiden games. I reviewed Ninja Gaiden for the NES, Ninja Gaiden 2, The Dark Sword of Chaos, Ninja Gaiden 3, The Ancient Ship of Doom, Ninja Gaiden Shadow, and Ninja Gaiden for the Game Gear, and also Ninja Gaiden for the Sega Master System. I sure do love me some Ninja Gaiden. Hell, if you couldn't already tell, the opening jingle to my videos is just the chapter start jingle that goes on in the Super Nintendo version of the Ninja Gaiden trilogy. So not only do I really love the Ninja Gaiden series, I also really love the Sega Genesis, and it's kind of upsetting that there never was a Ninja Gaiden game on the Sega Genesis. I have to get my Sega Ninja kicks off of games like Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master, Mayu Mallard and Cold Shadow, and to an extent, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Well, as it turns out, we almost had a Ninja Gaiden game for the Sega Genesis. Similar to what happened with the Master System and Game Gear Ninja Gaiden games, this would have been Sega making a brand new game for the Sega Genesis. It was to be released around 1992, but it was cancelled for unknown reasons. However, a rough version of the ROM has been leaked, and we're gonna play it. We're gonna check it out and see what could have been. So, without further ado, let's look at the game that never was. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ninja Gaiden for the Sega Genesis. Upon starting the game, you'll hear an opening theme that can only be described as a bunch of gargled Genesis noises. Oh yeah, that's definitely some Sega Genesis sounding nonsense! It does get a little bit better as it goes on though. Anyway, we get a rough idea of the story, and man is it indeed rough. The text here is English at its finest. From what I gather, Ryu's clan has a sacred scroll that was stolen by two other clan members, Jin and Rika, and now Ryu must chase them down. Wait, did Ryu just jump out of that airplane? What the hell is he thinking? We stop at a bar in hopes of getting some info on Jin's location. We're directed to go talk to a boxer, and then the scene fades mid-dialogue. What the fuck was that about? So here we go. We get into the actual gameplay, and oh boy, let's talk about this. As you can tell, this is not like other Ninja Gaiden games in the series. Instead, it very much resembles that of the original Ninja Gaiden arcade title. Up top, the red squares are your health, and the swords represent your life. Lose all your lives, and you'll get a aim over. As for the controls, A is to punch, and B is to jump. Jump and attack for a jump kick. Now when we get to the D-pad, that's where the controls get a bit funky. It's not as basic as you would think. Pressing up moves you in a forward, up, or diagonal. Moving left or right will move you left or right, but in a downward diagonal. Down will move you forward in a downward diagonal. Huh? What? In case you missed what I just said, basically there's no walking straight in this game. You'll always be walking at an angle. It's pretty awkward, but again, this is a rough beta version of an unreleased game. Also, if you double tap forward, you'll do a dodge roll. If you press up and jump or down and jump, you'll be able to jump onto and off ledges. And finally, if you press the C button, you'll do a health draining special attack. It's pretty broken too, as you don't even need to be near your opponent to kill him. You can do this spinning wheel kick special and kill an enemy all the way across the screen. Something kinda cool too is that if you try doing your special during a dodge roll, you'll do a spinneroonie. Can you dig that, suckers? In terms of what Hayabusa can do, it sounds like a lot, but really this game could have been called Ninja Gaiden Punch Punch Kick, because that's all you're going to be doing. Yeah, when you're fighting, you'll be using your only means of attacking, outside of a special, which is spamming the A button. The only attack combo you'll see is punch punch and then kick. That's it. for the whole damn game. And with the way the majority of these enemies are designed, they're all pushovers, they don't know how to fight. All of this combined just gives us a very lackluster, rather boring experience. It's hard to say how this game would have turned out if it was actually completed. Maybe the AI would have been improved, or maybe Hayabusa could have done more, like just tossing enemies, or maybe there could have been weapons added, like throwing shurikens or using a sword to really spice things up. But the gameplay, as is, who knows, but maybe they would have added in some signature Ninja Gaiden power-ups in here too. The only items you'll find throughout the game is more health, lives, and clocks to increase the time for levels. Anyway, let's get back to our mission. At the end of this first stage, we fight a boxer to get some info on Jin's location. Punch, punch, kick! Punch, punch, kick! The boxer's trainer gives us hints to go to Niagara Falls. We make our way through some mountains and then eventually a waterfall stage. Why is it that every beat-em-up has some kind of dominatrix-looking chick? I mean, I'm not complaining, just curious. So we're navigated all around these mountains until we reach a sumo wrestler. Jin told me that you might provide same sport for this humble sumo wrestler. Huh? What? Whatever, so I fight this guy and kick him off the mountain. He's dead, but the game doesn't recognize it. Shit. Luckily, you can easily access a level select by pausing the game. So the sumo is defeated, and we go through the secret door he came from, which leads us to a city? Okay. We go through the city and then eventually a dojo. We'll then be on this rooftop where everyone just starts sliding down. Our boss is 3 of these Juggernaut Wolverine black leather hybrids. Keep punching and kicking. Not that you have any other choice. Once they're all defeated, we find out that one of them was actually Jin. Jin passes away after telling us, "I couldn't face you after betraying your trust, Ryu." Well, I guess we'll go look for Rika next. We'll go through a city and we'll even fight on some scaffolds until we reach this badass heavy metal looking bar. We'll mess this place up until we reach the boss. No future, ninja boy. This rocker flips us off, but we'll hit him with the punch punch kick combo, only a whopping 5 times to defeat him. This boss has a tattoo of something called the Star Conglomerate. Let's head wherever that is next. It's another city area and eventually a casino. At the casino, we'll fight these 2 meatheads here. Ryu believes Rika is being held here at the Star Building, so let's go inside. There's an elevator section here that, funny enough, isn't animated yet, so enemies just kind of come out of the walls. When we're sneaking around these vents, there's a fan that I'm sure was meant to be busted up in the final version, but here, all we can do is walk through. At the end, we'll reach a boss fight with this big ol' motherfucker. Not sure how he ended up in Ninja Gaiden and not Golden Axe, but let's kill him. After the boss is defeated, we see this old man with a passed out Rika. He sends us through a trapdoor that leads to the final stage. We start off in a dungeon, then some kind of science lab. We eventually get to Rika, who's captured, and guarding her is this big freaking spiky red monster. All he says is, "You have interfered," before getting cut off. Not sure what he was gonna say, but I'm gonna assume this is the old man in some kind of final form or whatever. And for better or for worse, he's defeated like everyone else. Punch, punch, kick. So we did it. We saved Rika, who is magically no longer blonde. She brushes off Jin's death and, well, that's kinda it. Let's go home. And that's it. That's a glimpse of what Ninja Gaiden could have been for the Sega Genesis. Playing through the game as is, let's just say it still needs a lot of work. I did some research and I couldn't find any reason as to why this game was cancelled. It's hard to say how far into development the game actually was, too. I mean, if the game is playable from beginning to end, I imagine it was close to completion. Right away, you could see that a lot of the animations and dialogue still needed to be attended to, but I'm really hoping they would have added more to gameplay. The D-pad movements I'm sure would have been fixed, but there had to be something more to this, right? If this was another situation like the other Sega Ninja Gaiden games, Sega would have been developing this game themselves. Looking at the info on the title screen, this game would have released around 1992, maybe 1993. At that point, Streets of Rage 1 and 2 were already rocking it on the Genesis, so maybe Sega felt that this Ninja Gaiden game would have been overshadowed or pale in comparison, so they shelved it. Who knows, really? If this Ninja Gaiden Genesis game was released back in the day in a more playable shape than what we played today, I don't know if it would have really done the Ninja Gaiden series any favors. I'm a big Ninja Gaiden fan, but for all we know, maybe it's a good thing this never officially released. As awesome as a Sega Genesis Ninja Gaiden beat 'em up sounds, this just isn't the exciting title I picture in my head. But these are just my opinions. What do you guys think? What would you have imagined a Ninja Gaiden game for the Sega Genesis to be like? Honestly, I kind of wish they would have just ported Ninja Gaiden for the Sega Master System over to the Genesis, because that game's actually pretty fun. But anyway, these are just my opinions. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Subscribe, like, blah, blah, blah. I hope you guys have a good one. I'll see you all on the next one. Take care.